Hello, sixth grade students and families, to episode number 23 of A Math Moment with Mr. Behnke. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Behnke. To start off here, this week, students have been focusing on completing their I-Ready diagnostic test, which allows me, allows you to see really where they're at right now. Obviously, it may not look perfect because you have summer and you're not always doing math during the summer, so it may have gone down since last year, but that's not out of the ordinary. But it also allows them to start working on my path lessons, and my path lessons are good because every student's different. Every student gets placed wherever they tested, so it's really good for them because I'm going to be able to assign them lessons that are optional, that they can do, that are based on what we're covering in the classroom. Those are ones that they can do if you want them to, but also they're doing my path lessons, which are at their level where they're at currently right now. So, and then we kind of got into what it's going to look like moving forward. I assigned my first instructional video. We'll get into that a little bit. And I introduced, we're going to be doing stations inside the classroom, which those instructional videos are great because they can pause them and rewind them. Ask questions on the exit ticket. And then in class, when we do rotations, one of those rotations is with me, their content area expert. And I get to kind of get a sense for what they know and what they don't know in regards to the topic that we're currently covering. So that's kind of what we did this week. I wanted to give you a couple of resources here. That first one in regards to Google Classroom. This first link is a parent guide to Google Classroom. So if basically a bunch of frequently asked questions and stuff. So if you want to use that as a resource, that's really good. Also, I want to identify what the math Google Classroom looks like. So I'll kind of give you an idea of that. So here is an example. I'm actually on the to-do list. So you'll notice that my hub and my agenda are there. You can look at the classwork tab. That's okay. You'll notice how I assign I number all of the assignments that way. If someone's not sure what they missed, I can say, oh, you have to watch, or you have to go through assignment number 3, and then they can search for assignment number 3, which would be 003 right here. All right, and I also have them broke one down into topics. Now, I've been talking to kids about regularly checking your email, not getting into the thousands of unread emails, but also not checking the classwork tab, but by going into the 3 lines here, the hamburger, and then clicking to do. You can break it down into all classes or just one individual class. The only class that this demo student has is first hour math 6. And then you can see what has been assigned. So there's been a couple things that have been assigned for this class. One is due this week. I always say for I-Ready, I look at it from Sunday to Saturday. So whatever they're accomplishing through Sunday to Saturday, that's what I'm looking at. So in case I want to do it ahead of time. And then it looks for next week. I have assigned already a video for next week, due Monday. And then you can see what's been missing. Now, I kind of think I might have talked about this before, but here's assignment number 1. It might be missing if they just forgot to mark it as done. Make sure you're getting in the kind of helping out your student. Don't just say that you did it. Only mark it as done if you actually did it. Okay. So if they watched that video and they actually did it, there's an exit ticket at the end, then you can mark it as done, and then it will take it off of that to-do list. But again, make sure you're talking to students about not just marking things as done, even though they didn't do them. You can see what's missing. You can see what's done as well. So this is really good as far as helping students keep organized. And I'm pretty confident as far as what teachers are assigning things on Google Classroom. So it keeps them organized for all their classes. So I just want to go through that. And then coming back here, some expectations as far as watching instructional videos. I gave students directions as far as making sure that you don't have any outside distractions. You're not listening to music. I try to make them between 6 to 9 minutes. So keep engaged for 6 to 9 minutes. Have a notebook out to write down any questions. I'm also trying to get them into sketchnoting, which is a combination of note taking. Only write down the important parts. Don't write down everything I say. Write the important parts. And then draw some sort of a doodle, because the dual coding theory, brain science, talks about drawing, sketching, doodling, and note taking. It helps bring that into your long-term memory. So do some sort of sketch noting as you're watching the video, but stay engaged, be an engaged listener. All right. And then answer that exit ticket question at the end, which you have to watch all the way through the end to watch it. And if you have any questions on if your students actually engaged in watching the entire video, just email me and I can see if they've in fact watched all of the videos that they need to. And then iReady. Starting this week, once students are able to complete their diagnostic test, we're going to expect them to do so many iReady lessons per week. For me, students will have, going back to our station rotation, one of the rotations is online, and they're going to have almost every single day, they're going to have at least 15 minutes of class time to work on iReady. So that's about 75 minutes if they use their time wisely, 75 minutes in class to work on iReady. So my hope is that they shouldn't have anything to do for iReady outside of school. So make sure you talk to your student about using that class time wisely so that they don't have to take it home with them. And then lastly, I just want to include, as I did last week, the class hub and agendas. This is where you'll find any important information for Math 6 or 6 Plus. And you can check out those agendas as well. I always update the agendas. If you click on the hub and then agendas, and then you go to whatever week it is, we're on week 2, and then you can see right here what we did in class. So you as a parent kind of have an understanding of what we're doing. So anyways, that's really about it for this week, episode number 23. As always, if you have any questions or you need any help from me, please feel free to reach out to me. Best way to do that is via email. Otherwise, I can get back to you via voicemail as soon as possible. But that is it for episode number 23 of Math Moment with Mr. Behnke. Mega Super Agent Behnke signing out.